Philippines. We invite you to journey with POWERinU to empower yourself and your teams.
Hello, everyone. I am Benji Garcia. I'm your host, and also the president of POWERinU Training and Coaching Philippines. And I welcome you to our complimentary webinar for today, Rebuilding Your Confidence in the Next Normal. To introduce our speaker is an equally well-known international author, educator, and trainer, Mr. Jack Canfield.
Hi, I'm Jack Canfield, America's #1 success coach and the author of numerous New York Times bestsellers, including the Chicken Soup for the Soul series and most recently, The Success Principles, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And today I want to take some time to tell you a little bit about Penny Bongato. Penny is a certified Canfield trainer in the Canfield methodology, which is the highest level of certification that I offer. Now, Penny has spent countless hours learning, practicing, and teaching the proven methods of the success principles so that she can facilitate greater success for individuals and groups around the world. And by becoming a certified Canfield trainer in the Canfield methodology, Penny has demonstrated that she has intensely studied the material, applied it to her own life and to her teaching, and is now equipped to be teaching this powerfully transformative work to you or your organization. Now, Penny's also the first Filipino to be certified in the Success Principles back in 2015. And she holds the advanced certification in the Canfield methodology. She's conducted the Strategies of Success workshop, which is patterned after the Success Principles, and has led vision board workshops for various organizations, including IT BPM companies. Now, Penny has been in the human resources field for more than 20 years at the helm of large global companies with more than 10,000 employees in the Philippines. She also has over 10 years experience teaching in the university and has now ventured into the Success Principles work because she felt a deep calling to it. And her stated life purpose is to inspire and be of service to people so they can take action and be the best that they can be in achieving their dreams. Now, Penny is also a credentialed associate certified coach by the International Coaches Federation and is a member of the ICF Philippine chapter. She's also an ACE, Accelerator Coach Enhanced Practitioner. As a success coach, motivational speaker, and trainer, she delivers talks and keynote experiences on leadership, human resources, talent acquisition, performance management, change management, and employee engagement. And she has given talks and conducted trainings in various countries, including Singapore, Indonesia, Colombia, the Netherlands, India, South Africa, and the Philippines. Now, Penny currently resides in the Philippines with her family, and she's also a prolific writer. Her story, Proudly Filipino, is featured in my book, Living the Success Principles. She's also authored numerous books, including Career Shift, Follow Your Passion, and Ask for a Bigger Blanket. Her most recent book, Forward Shift, Managing Your Life at the Time of a Pandemic, Guidance from Mentors and Coaches Across the World, was released in May of 2020 after interviewing more than 30 coaches and mentors. Now, I've had the great pleasure of spending a lot of time with Penny, and what stands out for me the most is how her heart truly shines through as she teaches. Her passion to be of service to the people of her country is evident in everything she does, and her mission is to help motivate, inspire, and transform 100,000 Filipinos to dream bigger and achieve their dreams. I'm very proud that she is part of our international Canfield trainer community because she is making a huge difference in the world. Now, the bottom line of all this is if you're looking to create a successful life you are passionate about, there is no one better to learn from than Penny Bongato. I highly encourage you to get in contact with her to see how she can help you get from where you are to where you want to be.
Thank you very much, Benji. And thank you, Jack. Want to thank Jack Canfield, my mentor. You know, it's very touching when Jack emailed me, oh, when was that? Last week of December, asking me how we were because of the typhoon. and just an email from Jack asking, "Are you okay? Is the family okay?" was very, very touching for me. I was in that dilemma because my daughter was caught in Siargao when the typhoon hit, and I was really very, very nervous about it. But she came home. Now, so the topic is rebuilding your confidence in the next normal. So, why rebuilding? Has it been lost? For some people, your confidence may have been lost because of 2 years of being locked down, and we don't know how long this will be, how long this will last. And for us, I'm an educator as well. I see some of the participants are educators. Uh, we have been teaching online. And now, if we do the next normal, which may be the hybrid model, you do some people or some of your participants will be on site and some will be online. How do you engage them? And how do you make sure that they are with you in this environment? How do you work from home, not being able to see the people who you are working with? And I've heard, and for some, this 2 year of lockdown, you aged, you've had gray hair already, you refuse to go to the parlor, and other things. So you've gained weight, you lost weight, many other things. So how do you face people? How do you now feel that you need to rebuild your confidence? Or for some, how do you build your confidence? So we'll talk about that, and we'll give a lot of explanation and stories, and you will participate in these stories. So these are questions that I have listened to from my coaches, and I ask myself as well. So the first question, next. I got hired in my new job during the pandemic, and training is work from home. I don't know if I understand what they are teaching. Help! I've heard that so many times. It's different when you're learning your new job from online, and sometimes the trainer's not there. So how do you do it? I might not be fit for this role. What will I do? Second question, I was confident with my work, but the work from home environment things changed. So I had to do this, I had to do that because of work from home. I have a baby to breastfeed, but I have to be online. How will I do that now? How will I balance it as well? Third question, the left, bottom left. I'm afraid of going face to face teaching. My social skills seem to have been lost. What do I do? I understand what you're feeling. I am a teacher as well. So online now, you have to go back to school. I was so confident pre-pandemic. Now I feel so anxious about facing people. What should I do? And why do you feel anxious about facing people? Has the social skills, as I mentioned in the third question, been lost? Or you just have to regain it? You have to or you just need to make sure that you are there, um, hoping that and knowing that you know what you're doing. Next slide, please. Next slide. So confidence defined. Confidence means feeling sure of yourself. Let's go back to that. What does confidence mean? One slide back, please. Feeling sure of yourself and your abilities, not in an arrogant way. Um, Confidence is uh, isn't about feeling superior to others. It's a quiet inner knowledge that you're capable, and confident people feel secure rather than insecure. We need to build confidence or self-confidence that one develops to have a good sense of self-esteem. That's very important. And believe more in yourself. And we'll talk about what are the steps that you can do to bring back that confidence in you, or if you don't have confidence, how to build that confidence. Next slide. So why is confidence important? So we can show now everything. So why is confidence important? Developing self-confidence, you need to value yourself more. So it's very important that we feel good about ourselves when we interact with people, when we work with others, and when we even if you're alone, it's important that we have confidence in, because it also helps us design our lives. You design your life as well, and you create a better outcome in your career and personal life. So it convinces other people that you are capable of doing something. It is important. It is important because people tend to trust others who radiate confidence within themselves. Also, having self-confidence makes you a positive person since you believe in yourself more. Okay. So, what are the 5 steps or 5 ways in rebuilding your confidence? Next slide. So, I will mention 5 ways. One is highlight your previous successes and celebrate it. We'll go to that first one. Now, here we need your audience participation. So, think of the things that you have done successfully in the past, and they don't have to be great, they can be very simple. So think of your age. So let's make it simple. If you're 30 years old, 1 to 10, and divide it into 3, 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30. So what are the achievements that you have done in each part? I'll give you an example. I'm my life. I am a senior citizen. So let's make it simple. 1 to 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60. Actually, I'm 64. Okay. So don't worry about uh, dividing it accurately. It doesn't really matter. So, what was your achievement in the first third of your life? So, for me, I took up engineering. But it doesn't need to be grand, huh? Because if you're 24 years old, 1 to 8, what have you achieved? So we'll put type it in the chat box what you have achieved in the first third of your life. One of the things that I'm proud of in the first third of my life is I learned to play the accordion. Do you know what the accordion looks like? It's a musical instrument that goes like this. Well, I used to play the accordion for here in our street. So please type in the chat box what you have achieved in the first third of your life, or you can unmute yourself and say that.
Penny, we
So
have a
Benji,
first, yeah, we have
yeah,
a first answer from Wu Si Hui. Sorry, I don't know if it's male, female, but anyway, the answer is learn how to cycle on my own.
wow, congratulations.
Similarly, from Carmiona Liz, I learned how to ride a bicycle and I
Yes,
graduated senior high school with flying colors.
okay. You know, they don't have to be grand. Thank you for for saying the learning how to ride a bicycle. They don't have to be grand, because I will be honest with you, and this is a secret. I don't know how to bike. I cannot bike. So when they say you have to transport yourself using a bicycle, I will walk because I don't know how to bike. So that's a very good achievement. So let's go to the second third of your life. Second third. So my life, 20 to 40, to make it simple, holding my firstborn. in my arms. Wala pang room in nun. Don't have room in nun. Holding my firstborn in my arms and bringing him home. That was such a joy for me. And looking at my eldest child, I have 4 kids, by the way. So that was a big achievement for me, being a mom. So please type in the chat box what
Again, we have,
Mhm.
again, Penny, we have Roberto Acosta saying he got a college scholarship and entered college with minimal expenses of his
Woohoo!
parents. Yay.
Woohoo! Lucky parents.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, for us who have children who are went to college, we know how lucky your parents are. Okay, and last third of your life. So I'll give myself as an example from 40 to 60, make it simple. I was the first employee of Convergys in the Philippines. I was employee number 1. So what else can I think of? I had a very good skin regimen, facial skin regimen, so I don't look my age. So I'm something that I would like to brag about. So what achievement do you have in the last third of your life? So please type it in the chat box.
Okay, we have an answer here from Aranza. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I learned how to play the violin. Wow.
Oh yeah, that is a very good achievement, a very good um, something that you have achieved. Yes. We have a lot of answers, Benji.
Yes, we
One more,
have
one more.
one more. We have from Vivian. Learn the basic life skills, got my own house and lot, and survived COVID. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Oh, that thank you for reminding me of that. You know, our household was hit by COVID 3 times already. And of the members of our household, I was the only one who was negative always. So there must be something in my genes that are in my immune system. That's something that makes me proud. So think of
Ano-
your previous, another one, Benji.
Another one. Yeah, we have a few. This time from Ferry. Uh, started as rank and file, and now I am a manager. Wow. Sabi nga
Yes.
nila, pamakdo naman dyan.
Pa-burger ka naman.
Burger ka
Okay.
naman.
So celebrate it and remember it always. So thank you everyone for being engaged tonight in this webinar. So next slide, Trina. So with that, clearing the debts, I can see that having assessments. So how did you feel? How does that make you feel when you think of your successes? You can type it in the chat box. How did it make you feel when you were thinking of what you have achieved in your life? Or what have you accomplished in your life, even though how small, how you think it's insignificant, but it's not. You learned how to bike. You learned how to swim. By the way, I don't know how to swim. So you learned something that perhaps other people don't know. So
Well, we have
how did go ahead, Benji?
answers. Feeling blessed, feeling proud and blessed, feeling grateful. And
Yan. Okay. So that so with this, you see, if you look at your successes, you look at your achievements, and when you feel less confident, just remember your successes. Just remember what you have achieved in life. And if you have done it before, you can do it again. Next slide, Trina. So the next one is believe in yourself. And we have a few slides here about believing in yourself. Believing in yourself, like Pia Wurtzbach, of which we will watch a very short video of her later. You know that she joined Binibining Pilipinas 3 times before she won, and Steve Harvey even made a mistake when he was announcing the winner. And Pia said, "Never give up on your dreams because you'll never know it could happen to you." She believed in herself. She had confidence. She could have easily given up. I didn't make it in the first time. I don't want to show myself anymore, but she did not. She knew what she wanted and she wanted to win. Okay, next slide. Another example of believing in herself. We all know Heidi Lindias. And she said, Tagalog, kaya ko pa rin, hindi pa ako laos. Kaya ko pa maging malakas at manalo sa Olympics. And with a team behind me. She really wanted to win. She knows she could have given up. She could have given up, but she pursued her dream. And we're very, very proud of her winning the gold medal in the last Olympics. Now she's very happy as well. Can you click it? Because now she is engaged. And if you look at her engagement ring, it's weightlifting inspired. So if you want, think of your successes, think of the things that you have done, you have achieved previously. You believe in yourself that you will be able to do it. Now you might ask, it's so hard for me to believe in myself because there's a lot of self-talk. Have that feeling of, kaya ko to, I can do it. Next slide. So remember, oh, you might say, they are celebrities. I am a nobody. How can I? I've heard that. Miss Penny, your examples naman are so, celebrities. Eh. Believe in myself. How can I do that? My parents said, I can't do it. We're only poor. I, I don't, and a lot of other things that you may have heard people say. But I'll give you a success principle that I've learned on how to build that confidence in you. So believing in yourself, remember this. Next slide. Remember, once again, your previous achievements. If you've done it before, you can do it again. If you've taught well before the pre-pandemic, you can teach face-to-face well. And I'm sure you've enhanced your computer skills and you can use that moving forward. Take fear away from your thoughts. And what is fear? Fear is an acronym. Fear is fantasized experience appearing real. So hindi pa nangyayari, it hasn't happened, we are already fearful. So take the fear away. You know, when I'm in front of a lot of foreigners, when I was in that training with Jack, I was so scared because 400 white foreigners, big people, tall people, I'm short, and I'm brown. And I said, I'm fearful of these people, only to realize that we're all the same. And there was one person who said, the only black person is in the other training. I'm only the only black person in the assisting team. Wow. And I didn't even realize that he was the only black person in that team, in our team, because it didn't really matter. So those things of what we fear about sometimes comes to our mind and then we lose confidence. Persist and persevere. So if you want to be a public speaker, you have to persist and persevere. If others have done it, so can you. So it's very important to ask tips from other people as well on how to exude confidence because people are so willing to share. So don't forget, don't be ashamed to ask people because people are willing to share. And don't give your power away. And that's the next thing that we will be discussing. So next slide. Believe in yourself and you can change what you can achieve. You can have that self-confidence, that confidence. You can rebuild that confidence in this new and crazy world that we are living in. Next slide. So you control your thoughts and responses. And this is the first success principle of of the success principles of Jack Canfield. If I want to let you remember this equation, E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. If there's one thing that I'd like you to remember this is it. Event plus response equals outcome. E is the event. We all have the same event. We're all in lockdown, we're all in COVID, we're all virtual. But really, the point of power is in our response. So, how do we respond to it? Do we fear going out? Yes. Do we still go out? Do we follow the protocols? Do we do our our teaching online? Do we learn new skills? So, if you want a positive outcome, you have to have that point of power in getting the response that is positive as well. So you've seen in the previous slide, practice speaking, watch TED Talks, and if you want a positive outcome, remember, life is what I make happen. So you are in control of your life. Don't give that power away to anyone. Don't let anyone say hindi mo kaya yan. When you hear other people say hindi mo kaya yan, and you say oo nga hindi ko kaya, hindi mo nga kakayanin. Become a basket of positivity. So start your day with a miracle morning practice. This is from Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning, and there's Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club as well. The Hour of Power of Jack Canfield. And start your day with positive thoughts. Savers is the shortcut for the miracle morning. Silence, which may mean meditation or prayer. Silence, affirmation, visualization. You need to exercise, especially during this pandemic. Reading and scribbling. And scribbling or journaling of what I do is gratitude. Gratitude journaling. What are you grateful for? Okay. And one last tip about gaining confidence or building confidence is the mirror exercise. Okay, let me just give you a tip on how to do the mirror exercise. So what do I tell myself? So begin with acknowledging yourself of what you accomplished for the day. Talk about the things you resisted doing. Say positive things that happened to you today. And end it with I love you. You know, many of us, when we face the mirror, we see, "Ay, my wrinkles are already showing. Oh, my face is sagging. My gray hair is showing." No, don't do that. When you face the mirror, I'll give you this exercise. This is the exercise that we do. Hi, can you back one slide back, Trina, so that they can follow how to do the mirror exercise? Slide back. Okay, so how do we do this? I'll give you the example. Hi, Penny. Good morning or good evening. You know what? I acknowledge you today for waking up early and attending the 7:30 Manila Cathedral Mass. I acknowledge you for not putting milk and sugar in your coffee. You were tempted to put that already. I acknowledge you for not being late in all your Zoom calls because you have a tendency to be late. But today you were always present. You were always on time, even early. I acknowledge you. I appreciate you for saying yes to somebody who wanted advice. Somebody who said, "Can I consult with you?" And without hesitation, you said, "Yeah, call me." So, and the things that you resisted, and I know you're watching your diet and your exercise, you resisted that ice cream that's in the freezer. So I Good job for resisting that. And positive things that happened to you today. You know, being able to meet someone new. A simple thing as that. Glad that you said yes to that person who wanted to meet with you. And with all the things that you have with you, I just want you to know that I love you. Remember that, Penny. I love you very much. That's the mirror exercise. Some people do it in the evening, some people do it in the morning. I have a coachee who does it in the morning before she goes to work. And she tells herself, I'm going to have a good day today. Penny, you're going to have a good day today. You're going to have a good day today. And it's going to work really fine at work. And you will be able to answer all the calls and say it in complete English, straight English with no grammatical errors because she's very poor in English. So talk to yourself and just say positive things. And when you do that, next slide. And when you do that, you see not a kitten, but a tiger. So you build your confidence by talking to yourself and not saying the bad things about yourself, but saying the good things that you love about yourself. And don't forget to say, I love you. How many of us say, I love you to ourselves? Love yourself always because, like in the airplane, put your shield, your oxygen mask first before you help others. You have to love yourself first before you can even love others. You have to gain that confidence first before you can exude confidence. Okay, next slide. And the last one that I'd like to do now is, next slide, Gina, is having an attitude of gratitude. So this is very important because the more grateful you are, the more blessings come our way. So gratitude is the best attitude. And I'd like you to fill out this sentence. I'm grateful for blank because blank. For me, I'm grateful for my family, my grandchildren, because they always make me smile, even though I don't see them very often. The last time I saw them was Christmas. So I'm grateful for blank because blank. So please type away what you are grateful for. So for me, Benji, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my health because I've been able to remain negative.
Negative. So you're positively negative.
I am positively negative, yes.
Yes, I love that phrase. I'm positively negative. So what are you grateful for? So please type in the chat box what you are grateful for.
We have a response now from Cell. I am grateful for my job because I'm able to provide for my family. Yay. We have another one. I am grateful for my parents-in-law who are looking after my two girls so that I can attend this webinar. Thank you very much, parents-in-law. I am grateful that myself and my family have survived after almost 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic. That's right. I'm grateful for my family because they are my inspiration. Everything I do is for them. Wow.
Wow.
Terrific.
Terrific. One of the things that this pandemic has taught us is the value of family, the value of relationships. And even just that, even just the value of being with your family, you can develop that confidence in showing to them the care that you have, the willingness to help, the willingness and the kindness to be able to make sure that you are having that having each other and caring for each other. Okay, so we'll end with a video. So let's watch this video.
I always told myself that if I ever get the honor of doing a TED Talk, I would start it off like this. Pia Alonzo Wurzbach, 32, Philippines. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pia, and I'm most popularly known as Miss Universe from 2015, that year where Steve Harvey made the infamous mistake of announcing the wrong winner, Miss Colombia, first. It's still a crazy memory even after all these years. Winning Miss Universe opened many doors for me. I am currently a UNAIDS Goodwill Ambassador for Asia and the Pacific. I support local and international organizations helping people living with HIV. I'm an advocate for women's health, women's rights, mental health, and I'm also a WWF Philippines ambassador. Aside from that, I'm also an actress. I endorse multiple brands. I host a series of shows, podcasts, and other events. It sounds like the dream life, doesn't it? Girl joins a beauty pageant, wins it, almost didn't, and moves on with her life doing amazing things. But seriously now, I tell you this, the struggle was so real. Behind that night, the crown, the gowns, the smiles, and all the success, it masked the troubles that was happening in here and in here. The thoughts, the doubt, the worry in my head were louder than the cheers. I had unhealthy coping habits, plural, and I'll say it straight up. I became anorexic and I was self-harming. I was pulling my hair, a condition called trichotillomania. And in the four corners of my room, I also abused alcohol. I was deteriorating. I would just sit there, dwelling in my pain, crying. I felt so alone. It was nothing like the life people thought I had. Night, December 2, 2021, almost 6 years after that night, I want to reflect on this question. How do you show the world, or the universe rather, that you are confidently beautiful with a heart? My answer is, in this next chapter of your life, choose you this time. That regardless of the struggles, regardless of your imperfections and missteps, it's what's in here that matters. I want to remind you to stay true to yourself and to your purpose. And I hope you do it with all your heart. Thank you.
Okay, that's a 15-minute TED Talk of Pia Wurzbach. I just got the important ones for this webinar, but I recommend that you watch the 15 minutes. All glamour, we can see that, but there are times that we fall back in that confidence level. But it's really in thinking of what you have achieved. People are willing to help you. Love yourself, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away that power. Is very, very important. Talk to yourself and tell yourself, I love you. So I know one of the questions that was asked is how do we get a copy of your book? I've written 3 books: Career Shift, Follow Your Passion, Ask for a Bigger Blanket, Wag Mamaluktot kung maikli ang kumot, and Forward Shift, Managing Your Life at the Time of a Pandemic. And the first 2 books are available at National Bookstore and at feastbooks.ph. And Forward Shift is an ebook which will be given to you for free and which will be emailed to you when the link is sent. The link to this webinar is sent. So thank you once again for listening. I hope you are able to apply the tips that I've given you.
Thank you, Penny, for such an insightful, wonderful talk that you have given us. I particularly enjoyed listening to the different tips Of course, the closing video was quite interesting as well from the Wurzbach. We're now going to open the floor for questions from our attendees, from our participants, and we encourage you to send your questions through the chat or click the raise your hand icon so you can be called and unmuted. That's if you would rather deliver the question yourself to Penny. We'll try to ask as many questions as time permits for today.
You know, I encourage you to ask your question out loud. Be brave and ask your question. Courage is also wag mahiya. Wag na mahiya.
Yeah, that's a good challenge. Let's get started with let's start that confidence right here. Wag nang ipagpabukas. In the meantime, while others are waiting for, are thinking of their question and mustering the courage to actually ask the question live, here's one from Carmiona Liz. Is having good friends a part of a positive outcome?
Okay. Surround yourself with positive people. That's what they always say. Surround yourself with positive people. And because your environment also helps you create the outcome. So if in school, for those who are in school, don't you notice when we were still face to face, all the scholars are in one group, all the bulak-bolero in one, those who don't go to school or miss classes also are in one group. So you surround yourself with people who are positive, and so that you can have a positive outcome as well. Any comments, Benji?
But I was trying to recall, there's a saying that goes something like, you are the average of the 5 people that are closest to you, something like that.
Yes,
So
that's right.
Start looking around. Who are your closest friends and how are they?
Exactly. Is there a brave soul?
No, but I'm gonna squeeze in a question that I have, and maybe it's a question that others have as well. Among the many principles and tips that you've shared with us, Penny, how do we get started? I guess that's my question. No? Do we start doing all of those, or how do I know which one should I start doing, and how do I make sure that I am able to develop it into a habit?
Okay, that's a very good question. You know, the success principle, the first success principle that I mentioned to you, tip number 3, is you control your life and your outcome. Event plus response equals outcome. So that, you know, I have been practicing that for a long time. But I tell you, I deteriorate from time to time. Sometimes my response is awful. And that is even true with confidence. Sometimes you have the confidence and sometimes you don't, you 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 fall back to no confidence at all. But if you remember that event plus response equals outcome, if the event is there, how will I respond to get the outcome that I like? And if you keep on remembering that and don't give that power away, then you can develop it into habit. And yun nga, kung nagawa mo before, magagawa mo ulit. Think of your achievements that you've done in the past.
So I also take away from what you just said, Penny, that that it's not a matter of doing it once and then everything is better. It's a matter of practice and sabi mo nga, persevere in your presentation. So there will be times when you won't be as confident, and that's okay, right? I guess that's what you mean by being human.
Yes. You know, there was a time, and you know this, Benji, there was a time that Brother Bo asked, I'm makulit. I asked Brother Bo, can I speak? Can I share at the feast, Brother Bo? Can I share at the feast? Tapang ko asking Brother Bo, can I share at PICC? And there was one time Brother Bo Sanchez said, yes, you can share at the feast. Then I started to worry. What if I forget my speech? I cannot read it. What if I forget what I will say? What if I fail? What if I had so many what ifs? Hindi na ako makatulog ng isang buwan because I had to prepare. But what did I do? I practiced. I practiced morning, noon, and night. I recorded what I would say on my phone and I listened to it before I sleep. And I just practiced. I so it takes practice, and if you really want to do good, you just have to develop that habit of practicing and persevering.
So the tips work, but you also need to prepare for whatever it is that you need to do. It's like saying, I want to ace my exam for the students here. I want to ace my exam. And you will do all the mirroring exercise. Pero hindi ka naman nag-aral for the exam. So,
Oo. Oo, remember, you have to take action. Hindi pwedeng visualize, visualize lang. You have to take action. So practice, practice, and practice, and practice. And they say it takes 10,000 hours to make really it a habit or something. But it just don't give up. During this pandemic, there was one time in my life that you'll hear it from Pia Words back, um, full TED talk. She was talking about high high functioning anxiety. I think I had that as well. I was very anxious, but I was really functioning well because I kept on working, 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 working. But I was so anxious because of what's happening. There was death in our family during last year. My father-in-law passed on and he had COVID. But I cannot let go. So when I think of the things that oh, I had a lot of problems. But you need to move on. One of the things that helped me is gratitude, having that attitude of gratitude. As Benji said, I was also positively negative. So many things happen in our lives. So we have to bank on what we had done well in the past. Sometimes we fail, but don't give up. Practice, take action, and work on that confidence. And make sure that you can present yourself well.
thank you, Penny. We have a question here. I think quite related to what we were discussing. What are some actions we can take when we panic from crisis or confrontations coming our way?
Okay. What are some practices that we can do? Stop and breathe. Stop, pause, inhale, exhale. Don't forget to exhale, ha? Inhale, exhale. Baka naman inhale na lang tapos hindi ka na mag-exhale. You might die, no? Inhale, exhale. Because when confrontation happens, there's a tendency to fight. We don't want that because it's just going to make matters worse. Stop, pause, and do the breathing exercise. That helps a lot. What do
Thank
you
you.
do,
Yeah.
Benji?
Well, the same thing. I was going to add nga na what you said. Make sure it's deep breathing all the way to your, what do you call that? The abdomen. So you make sure that it goes slow, because the principle there is that when your body slows down, when your breathing slows down, your body, your emotion, even your emotion, your mental process follows that rhythm. So you have to do it a couple of times, but deep breathing. Because typically, if we notice, when we are in a stressful situation, or scary situation, our breathing tends to be very light and frequent. We don't really take in as much air. So what you want to do is to slow it down, because then our emotions will follow that as well.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, Do we have anyone responding to Penny's challenge to unmute and deliver the question online?
Sige na, raise your hand. I know you
This
typed
is
it.
this is your opportunity to actually build your confidence. Take the risk.
This is a safe environment. If you type your question in the chat box, you will just unmute yourself and read your question. Or be voluntold by Benji.
I don't really want to do that. Baka hindi na sila mag-join sa succeeding webinars. I think this is a question also. Yung mirror talk po ba is just convincing yourself in a manner of lying? Like telling yourself that everything is going to be all right. Pero ang totoo is hindi naman. That's a nice question.
Oh, that's a nice question. So it's not lying because you're telling yourself what you've done today. If you're doing it at night, no, what you've done today. If you're telling yourself something that you've done today, so you have to recall from the time you wake up to the time you face the mirror. And think of all the things that you've done positively. The positive things that you have done. Not positive. The positive things that you have done. Meron yan. I am sure there is. And that's what you tell yourself. What you appreciate yourself. Meron yan. Don't look at the negative things. Think of the positive things. Now, if you're doing it in the morning and you're telling yourself, I'm going to have a good day, your thoughts become reality. Your thoughts are very powerful. So if you say it's going to be a bad day, it's going to be a bad day, it's going to be a bad day. Takot ako maglakad because I tell myself madadapa ako. And one time as I was walking along Ayala Avenue and nadapa nga ako. So I'm just saying positive things. It's not lying, it's just your thoughts become reality. Remember that. Your thoughts are very powerful.
Yes. You know, the principles and the tips that Penny actually shared, there's a science that supports what she has said. We don't have time and I'm not the expert on this, but you know, from my readings also, there is a science behind these practices. It's not sort of like how do you call it? Wishful thinking, no? It's not dreaming. There is a science that supports these practices and habits, so you can be sure that it is something that will help you.
Just try it. Don't try it lang for one day and give up. Huh? Just try it and see how it will affect your life. Do the mirror exercise. You know, we've been having the mirror exercise for years now. I know one person who has been doing the mirror exercise since I taught her for several months now, especially when she started her new job. And it gave her confidence and it gave her confidence to believe in herself. Na kaya niya.
Okay. Well, I'm getting the cue from our technical producer that it's time to wrap up. Thank you very much, Penny, for as always, for giving us such very good insights and principles that we can practice. Again, all that's really needed is for us to start trying it out. You don't have to do everything. Try one, but keep on doing it until it becomes part of your habit. So maraming salamat again, Penny, for gracing us with your insights and your expertise on our very first webinar for 2022. Now, for those who have not subscribed to us to our website yet, please do so. Our website can be found at powerinu.com.ph, so you can get updates on our events, webinars, and even free resources from POWERinU and our partners. We thank you for joining us in our complimentary webinar, first complimentary webinar for 2022, and we look forward to having you with us in our journey throughout the year. As you know, we have a monthly webinar every month. So for our next webinar, it'll be entitled How to Reinvent Yourself and Re-Engineer Your Business. And this will be held on February 9. So the speed of change has never been faster. Companies and even entire industries cease to exist while others emerge and enter the S&P 500. That's the group of premier organizations in terms of market value. They entered that within just a few decades from being launched. Even business executives risk becoming obsolete over the span of only a few years unless they are willing to change, learn, and adapt ever faster. So join us in this webinar and find inspiration to reassess your market, your business, and even your own value add with real-life cases to be given by our speaker, Mr. Lars Wittig, the country manager and sales vice president for WIG PLC in ASEAN, South Korea, and he is also the president of the European Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines. Wow. So everyone who registered in this webinar will automatically get an email invite to our next webinar. So we hope you can join us again on February 9. Put that in your calendar, please. So lastly, everyone can access the recording of this webinar through POWERinU's website, Facebook page, and YouTube channel. Now, before we go, as usual, we would like to request for 10 seconds of your time to answer a short poll so we can get your feedback. You just need to click on the link that we sent in the chat box, or you can scan the QR code that's on the screen. Your responses will help us further improve our offerings in our future webinars. And thank you in advance for your feedback. So we'll give you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So everyone, thank you very much again for joining us today. On behalf of POWERinU, we wish you good health and greater self-confidence this year. Goodbye.